Hey y'all, get ready for Conversations with Deborah Franklin. Sit back, relax, grab you something to drink because we're getting ready to dive right in with conversations for the grown and sexy.
Well, hello, everybody. What's up? It's your girl, Deborah Franklin. I am here tonight. I'm so excited about tonight's topic. I'm calling this a show for all singles. All singles, I want you in the building because we are talking about shoot your shot or not. And we're going to be looking at things from a different perspective. And tonight is all about having those real conversations. Tonight, we are really having a conversation for the grown and sexy. Most definitely, y'all, whatever your sexy look like, I need you to be in the place because it's time for you to get your sexy back. I don't care what your sexy look like. Whatever it is, you got to snatch it up, weave it up, whatever you got to do. It's time for you to get your sexy back and know that you are who you have been called to be. For those of you that don't know, I am Deborah Franklin, your host for tonight. I am an author, a speaker, and a coach. Yes, y'all, I am a media coach. I train you how to do what I do. And most of all, I am the founder and CEO of Church Girl CEO and Deborah Franklin Publishing. And that's a whole different show that's going to be coming up later about how you can learn how to work with me and get ready to tell your story and to develop it into multiple streams of income. Well, all right, y'all, we're going to jump right into motivational moment. Y'all, today is so exciting because, a lot of times as singles, yes, I am single. I have never been married. I don't have children. And yes, I am getting ready to be 51. I am, yes, and yes. A lot of people say, for real? Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with me. It just, God is just didn't put it in. That just has not been my sphere. But one thing that I do want to say to singles tonight, stop looking at the glass being half empty or half full. Look at that glass as being empty. And the reason why I'm saying it's empty, because now it is getting ready to fill it up with all your dreams and possibilities. Because you are getting ready to ask God not to start in the middle, but I need you to start from the bottom. Fill me up until it overflows. Because right now we have got to start to learn how to operate in the overflow. When you start to operate in the overflow, you start to change the way you think. You change the way you operate. You change the way you talk. You change the way you interact with people. And some people say, well, why don't you just have God fill it up with where it is? Because you know what? I want to pour out everything that's not like him out of the glass. So when he pours it back into me, that is all brand new. Because the scripture tells us you cannot put new wine into an old wineskin. I don't want you to put my new stuff on top of my old stuff. I want to get rid of the old stuff. I want to get rid of everything that's hindering me, everything that's in my mind that's holding me back, anything that I use to self-sabotage myself. I want it out of there because when it's out, now he can fill me up with the things that I can start looking at myself in a different way, talking about myself in a different way. Because when you start to talk about yourself and believe in yourself in a different way, others will perceive you as that way as well. Because when you know who you are and whose you are, and you make a real mind shift change, then you can operate in where you want to be. And then you're wondering why this isn't working for me. And I'm not even talking about relationships, y'all. I'm talking about just you being you. You go to the car lot. You can't even get a good deal because you don't believe that you deserve a good deal. Today, it stops today. Today, you are going to start believing that you are created for greatness. You deserve greatness. You deserve not to be treated any kind of way. You deserve not to be talked to any kind of way. You deserve to be who you want to be. When you look in that mirror, baby, it's one time you gonna walk through that mirror and I want you to get up in the morning. I want you to go to that mirror right now. We talked about it last week. Open up your mirror and say, remember this from last week? I am not going to hold me back. But this time when you look in the mirror, you're going to be like, damn, I look good and I'm worth it. Yes, I said it. Damn, I look good and I'm worth it. That's what you got to start to remember, because when you will start to believe that wholeheartedly, then you're going to start to operate in the overflow of what you have been called to do. Is it going to be easy? Heck no. Yes, you might be a single mom. Yes, you might be a single dad. Yes, you might be single and don't have children, and can't have children, or you feel like your biological clock has stopped ticking. It's okay, because now you got to operate where you are. Stop living in the depression. Stop living in your past. Stop living in the what ifs and the shoulda, coulda, woulda. Start living in the now. When you live in the now, you start to attract the people into your circle that are going to help you go to the next level of wherever you want to be. And that next level looks different for everybody. You got to stay off of social media comparing yourself to other people's relationships, because trust and believe, they only putting up the good stuff. They ain't talking about the fight they had the last night, but why they had at this place having a good time. Stop believing what you're seeing. Yes, it may be happy. Yes, it might, but you don't know the trials and tribulations that they went through. Stop wanting something that you don't have. No, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Stop wanting something that someone else has. Start wanting what you have, and you have to start perfecting what you have. When you start to perfect what you have, then you can go to the next level. Yes, I keep saying the next level because we're going to start operating in the next level. We're going to start operating in the next. We're going to start being who we are. Because when we do that, then and only then can we see the next level. Then and only then can we go and do what we are called to do. Y'all, it's not about being churchy. It's not about being religious. It's not about that. It's about just simple steps of believing who you are. So when I say, well, go get you an empty glass and just say, what was in it? No. Fill it up. I want you to fill the glass up. Then I want you to pour it out. And when you pour it out, that signifies everything that wasn't right gone. Now you're ready to fill it up with the good stuff. You're ready to fill it up with what you need to make it to the next level. You are ready to fill it up so you can be who you know that you are. Some of you are ready to start your businesses. Some of you are ready to write your book. Some of you are ready to be in a real relationship. But guess what? Until you pour out that old junk, you can't put no new stuff in that old stuff. That's going to mix it up, and then it's good and crazy. You got to pour it out, y'all. Pour it out. Pour it out. Fill that glass up and call it what it is. Whatever got your mind clouded, whether if it's depression, if it's self-hate, if it's that you felt like you've been too short all your life, you felt like you was too tall, pour it out. Because anything that's negative, we are pouring out of our lives. Anything that is negative, we are pouring out of our lives. Anything that is negative, we are pouring out of our lives. Because when God gets ready to fill that glass back up, and this is where I really want you to think about it. When God fills it up, and then again, we're going to go back to the overflow. When you start to operate in the overflow, ain't nothing going to stop you then. Because when you operate in the overflow, you're going to go to the ATM machine and you ain't going to be praying that something come out. You're going to know that something going to come out. Y'all know how it is. You're not going to walk up with that credit card talking about, oh, Lord, I hope they done gave me an extension. Oh, Lord, I hope they let this go through. Them days is over, baby. Them days is dead. Look for the overflow in your finances, in your relationships, in your connections, in your family. That's where you want the overflow to be. Because we are destined for greatness. We are destined for greatness. We have been created to go to the next level and be the leaders and not the followers. We are the lenders and not the borrowers. And the first shall be last and the last shall be first. In other words, it's time for you to come out of the corner and start to live. It's time for you to start being the quarterback and not the cheerleader. It is time for you to take the lead in what you have been called to do. It is time for you to be that superwoman, that superman that you have been called to be. It is time for you to take that step and take that stance and be all that and a bag of chips. It's your time to do it because we are getting ready to operate in the overflow. We are getting ready to stand and move like never before. We are getting ready to do the doggone thing, and you're going to take somebody with you because, as I always say, it's only lonely at the top because you didn't take nobody with you. And that is what we are here to talk about tonight. We are going to talk about how do we develop real relationships, y'all. We're talking about You're not healed and you can't do anything because you're not healed. You can't go anywhere because you are not healed. You cannot do anything because you have not changed your mindset. Go buy you some different colors. Some of y'all only wear black, brown, and blue. Go get some new colors. It's okay. It's okay. Get some new lipstick. You've been wearing red all your life. Go get some pink. Go get some purple. Try something different. Because right now, I like our new MVP. She making me feel good because I wear Chucks all the time. Now I can put Chucks and pearls. Yes, Chucks and pearls. That's what I'm talking about. We got to start operating where we are and being authentic to who we are. Stop operating where somebody else is. It's okay to be you. Yes, Dr. Kai, get you some orange. And thank you. I think I will. I don't think I look good in yellow, so I'm probably not going to get yellow. Yes, Renita. Yes. Pour it out. Yes, y'all. We have got to go and do some things differently. And we have got to start doing what we have been called to do. And that is getting us together. Get us together so we can move to the next level. Where y'all, if nothing else, from this motivational moment, I want you to do two things. Number one, go by that mirror and you tell that mirror and you tell yourself, damn, I look good and I'm ready for the challenge. That's number one. Number two, go get you a glass, fill it up, and say that this is everything that has been holding me back, everything that has been holding me down, everything that has distracted me from making it to my purpose. Pour it out. Because now you getting ready to say, I needed to be filled up with everything that's good, everything that is mighty, everything that is purposeful for my life to move to the next level. Well, all right, guys, it's been fun. It's been real, but we getting ready to take this show to another level. Yes, indeedy. Well, y'all, tonight, let me tell y'all, tonight, we getting ready to do it. So y'all better call your friends. If you didn't already call them, call your girlfriends, call your boyfriends. I don't care who you call. I don't care if you call Ghostbusters. You gotta call them and let them know to come on live tonight because we got some folks in the building. We getting ready to talk about all things relationships. Yeah, y'all, I promise you, this is for the grown and sexy tonight. That's why we had to do a special time. We want y'all to be free to say and do whatever you want to say. Well, we're gonna keep it in limits because it's still a family show, and I'm still that person because I will shut you down. So don't say the wrong thing. You know. So tonight, we are introducing a new thing for tonight. So if you want to call in and participate with our guests, you will be able to call in. If you're watching the replay, I'm sorry you missed it, but always drop a message in the comments and we will definitely come back and reach out to you. But tonight, y'all, Conversations is going to another level. You know how I told y'all, we gonna keep going to another level no matter what. So we'll be right back after these messages and our guests are in the building. Hey. What's up, y'all? We got Miss R.L. Fleming for Sexy Single Shooting Shots and Mr. Curtis Tate. Let me tell y'all how this all came about. They were doing a live and I was like, y'all got to come on my show. I knew they thought I was playing, but I said, oh, okay, y'all thought I was playing. I'm going to inbox these jokers. They think I'm playing. Because the conversation was so rich, it was so powerful, and it was something that we needed to do. So before we jump into the conversation, I want you guys to introduce yourselves, tell the people who you are and what you do, and go for it. Whoever would like to go first.
Ladies first. Thank you, Curtis. I am R.L. Fleming, and I am the proud group owner of the Sexy Single Shooting Shots on Facebook. And so I have a passion for just helping people grow in love, whether that's just healing themselves so that they can be a better person or working towards marriage. And so I've come from a battered girlfriend situation all the way through single motherhood. And now here I am, healed and ready and for love whenever the Lord sends it my way.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Curtis Tate, I am a special education teacher. I have been working with young people in some form or capacity for probably about the last 20 years. I was a manager, overnight manager at Covenant House of Pennsylvania. I was a court case manager with the Department of Human Services in Philadelphia. I worked in a girls group home, and that taught me a whole lot. I also worked with a children's mobile intervention team where I helped families connect to long-term services. I'm originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. I was born in the Mississippi Delta, outhouses and pumps and all that stuff. But luckily, my parents had the foresight to get up out of Mississippi when I was still a lab baby. I have been in Philadelphia for the past 20 years. I am a proud graduate of Miles College, which was a HBCU in Birmingham, Alabama. And also, I just always had this passion just to help people and just to bring my unique perspective in order with working with young people.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
He left out. He was a poet, y'all. He's a poet.
Oh, you a poet? We didn't know it.
I write a little bit. I do.
You got little skills going on. All right. We might have to see because all I got is roses of red, violets of blue.
That's good. That's good. Long as you say it with your chest, it's all good.
Most definitely. But I love it when I got people on from the South because everybody knows I'm originally from Texas. And I love the fact that you know about an outhouse because not everybody knows about that outhouse. Baby, look, that's a whole different situation.
My grandparents had an outhouse on their property till 1992.
I think my great uncle did the same. And when we had family reunions, we still had to use said outhouse because he refused to get. Yeah, that's a whole different situation. Because actually, we're in 2020 and we still talk about an outhouse that really some people still use it. But that's a different show. And
what part of Texas? What part of Texas are you from?
Houston.
Okay, so I went to junior college in Carthage, Texas.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So I know a little bit about Houston.
Some. Yeah, you know a little stuff. But we are doing something different tonight. Okay, so I'm going to put the number going across the screen. So if you have any questions or comments and you want to join in the conversation, you can call in 443-454-3751. Yes, that is the business line. You can call directly in at 443-454-3751. And we getting ready to get this party started. Okay, Union College is in the house. Okay, if y'all want to throw out the colleges, I'm an HBCU grad. In the house. Yes, indeed. Texas Southern is in the house. So all the HBCUs are definitely represented tonight. So we are getting ready to jump right in. And where I wanted to start with is that a lot of times as singles, we are scared, especially those of us that grew up in the church, grew up in these wonderful families that we did. We didn't talk about a lot of stuff when it came to relationships. We were told, okay, especially girls, when you first got your first little situation that started, don't you kiss no boy, you're going to get pregnant. So you thought you was getting pregnant because somebody kissed you. Yeah, the great grandmama would tell you, better put that bare aspirin between your knees and don't let it drop. And you're thinking, why would I do that? What? That doesn't make sense to me. But then once you get older, it makes sense. But as a kid, you're like, what in the bejesus are you
right?
So tonight, I want us to just dispel the myths. I want us to just go right out and just talk about whatever we want to talk about. The tonight's show is titled "Shoot Your Shot or Not." When do we shoot our shot? Because as women, and I'm a woman from the South, we were taught we don't make the first move. The man is supposed to chase us. If the man wants us, he comes to us. We don't do that. And now with this age of getting in the inbox, do this. I'm turning this over to y'all. Let's go.
Well, when do you shoot your shot? So I think it's really based on the person. It's individual now. It's not necessarily a rule of ladies shouldn't or men should first. It's really about your comfort level with that. And so I'm the type of woman that really, if I see something I want, I'm gonna let you know. Now you take all the next steps.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You take all the next steps, but I might make that initial flirt or inbox or call or text or whatever that is, depending on the situation.
Okay. And what is the situation? Since you said situation.
Well, the situation could just be just about anything. Maybe I met you in the grocery store. Hey, I might wink. I might, hey, I like your shoes. I'm known for I like your shoes because I like a well-dressed man. So, just depends on where we are as to what I might say, but I just might approach you first. And I am 46, so I came up in the era where it was hold that aspirin, or you gonna come in here and we're gonna beat you with several sticks, and you're gonna have to get them. And so I've had to learn that in this new digital age, things are different and times change. Yes, we can be church women and men, but we have to know that in order to get to where we're trying to go to, we have to take some steps to get there.
Okay. All right. You the man you the man in the house. Come on.
So the first thing I would like to start with is, like I said, I've worked with adolescents, 5 through 18. I have a daughter, so I've seen all the different stages of. My daughter is 18, so I have saw the different stages of her being a little girl until becoming at the age of being a woman, and it was a very interesting ride. The first time I changed her diaper, she touched herself. I told her mom, look, she's doing this, and her mom is like, no, it's normal. And my daughter just taught me a lot about just human nature. We are sexual beings. I don't care if you grew up in I don't care if you grew up in a strip club or you grew up in the church. We all basically in our DNA was designed to reproduce offspring. You reproduce offspring through sex. That's basic genetics. So, when you understand that aspect, you have a different look at it. I've talked to a lot of my female friends. I worked in a girls' group home. I've done therapy sessions with young ladies. And the worst thing a parent or anybody could do is shame a young lady for doing something that is biological. You don't shame, you guide. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing, I remember as a parent. Mm-hmm. My daughter is 18. So, my conversations with my daughter, I always let her know you can bring it to daddy and tell daddy anything. Mm-hmm. So because my thing is, if you want to learn, you might as well learn from a Jedi master.
Yeah.
So I think that's something, first off, we got to understand. And, and I could speak from a male perspective, is that males have to do better with that understanding with our daughters, with our sisters, with mm-hmm. With any woman, because, if you have a daughter around, you say, if you have a younger sister, if you're 17 and she's 15 and she bring a boy around that she likes, you want to beat the boy up.
Right.
He hasn't done anything because you feeling guilty. Me, myself, personally, the first time I was introduced to sex, I learned a lot about women. I walked in on my parents having sex when I was about 3 years old.
Wow.
And my dad, he was doing this push-up position between the thighs, like clapping and smacking his face. I'm just looking. And my mom, look, hey, you told me keep it real. So, and my mom looked like she thoroughly enjoyed it.
Sexy. Let's go.
So the one thing I learned in that moment was my mother was more than just my mother. I learned that she was a woman that had desires. So I got that I didn't necessarily know what was going on.
Right.
I thought my dad was a gymnastics and I didn't know nothing about it. And my mom liked it. So that really shaped my, my outlook
Never.
on.
Well, and so what I'll add to that is, and just to quickly touch on our babies, because to mothers, they're our babies. But, I have 3 kids, a daughter that's 24, a son that's 19, and then a son that's 7. And so I always vowed that I don't want them to learn it like I did. I learned it in the street with my friends. So we've always had an open conversation. And my 7-year-old walks around now talking about his no square. So that's his no square. He know what it is, what it do, and all the in-betweens. Because just because he's 7 doesn't mean they're not talking about it. He's on all of the platforms. So they're talking about it, but not to the extent that we are. And so I say they should learn it from home. They shouldn't learn it in the streets. Don't be afraid to teach them at least the basics so they don't wonder some of these things. I've seen some young ladies on TikTok and some of these things where they're doing some really, I don't want to call it amazing things, but some really weird things because they don't understand their bodies. And so because you don't understand your body, you're testing things in a different way that it was not meant for you to. You should not be tasting your monthly cycle. You should not be giving yourself a yeast infection because it's supposed to help it be better. Those are not things that you learn from home. You learned that somewhere else, or you're just testing things. And so if we teach them right, they at least have the basics, and then they can go from there with their sexuality.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, let's
not talk about it, but I'm telling you.
I'm like, I ain't quite sure to go with that one. But anywho, yeah, because it's amazing at how, we've taken, now we took this conversation to straight family, talking about what we should do, because in a way, if we get them now while they're young, because by day I'm an educator as well, so I see some of the weirdest things, but it's like, if we can get them now and start to shape their minds about where they want to go, then maybe when they're our age, they're not having the same conversation. And so now that we've gotten the preliminary piece, let's get back into the nuts and bolts of, as a man, are you offended if a woman steps to you first? What are your thoughts on it?
Not at all. Not at all. I talk about my mom a lot. If you ever see my Facebook post, I talk about my mom a lot. My mother was around 5'10".
Oh, okay.
So the women in my family were tall. We're tall. We're most of us are way above average height. So I had this, again, 5 years old. When you watch Tom and Jerry, when Jerry came into the room, she always jumped up on a chair or something like that. It was one time when I was 5 years old, I was getting ready for school. I had these Disney Pluto socks. And I was like, "Where my socks at?" My mom was like, they're in the top drawer. I go in the top drawer and there's a mouse in there. So I'm screaming, yelling. And my mom is like, "What's wrong with you?" I was like, "There's a mouse in the drawer." My mother comes in there, open that drawer with those big, beautiful Mississippi country hands, put her hand all the way back, and boom, killed that mouse with her hand. So, I'm watching cartoons. And so a woman is supposed to jump on the chair when she sees a mouse. And my mom, loved TKO this mouse with her hand. So once again, it goes back to, my introduction to, femininity. And I understood at that point, everything the TV tells me about a woman might not necessarily be true. So flash forward, 40 years, if a woman comes up to me, I don't think none of it. I just think that, she sees something she wants and she's speaking on it. I actually promote it myself, honestly.
Okay. So you okay with a woman being aggressive? So how do you deal with? Go ahead.
I wouldn't say it's aggressive.
Right.
I was about to say, I don't think it's aggressive.
I never looked at it as being aggressive.
And so I'm gonna talk on it. I think the way we shape our words is powerful. And so saying that I'm aggressive just because I'm approaching a man, that's to me a little harsh. Now I say that because in the instance that I just have confidence, I'm confident. He might be shy. He done walked past me twice. You're not gonna get a third time, brother. Let me just give you my number. Now, if you don't ever call, that's okay. I don't have no sleep loss, but I took the first step to go towards what I might want. And I don't do it every time, but if I see or read the energy that, okay, he's not going to say nothing, but I'm not going to let you get away either. Let me approach. And so I just think that we've been taught that we shouldn't, so we think that it's a negative. And so it's not a negative, especially, well, to me, it's not a negative, especially in this new age. In the digital world where I'm seeing, especially running this group, and I've seen all kinds of stuff in this group, all kinds of things that I didn't even think existed or were true about adult women and men. So I would say that, you know, be comfortable in who you are, no matter what that is, and be great at that. Don't worry about what the world is doing, because whoever your partner is will come to you, whatever way they're supposed to come to you. But I just think that aggressive is I think it's harsh. And so it keeps people from making that first step.
And I said that because that's usually how that is perceived. I mean, that's usually what, you know, that's that fast girl, you know, that's that hot girl. She hot. She hot. She is out there. She all up in their faces. And so how do we start to dispel that myth or help make that mind shift change? Because, you know, how do we do that? What, I mean, no, not necessarily how do we do that. Yeah. How do we do that, or what steps can we take? And I can go into either one.
Well, so I think it starts with the different groups, the conversations. If we start to have the conversations, and so even if I just empower one person to say, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna send that guy that I was thinking about a message, then I've helped someone. And so in talking through, I'm shy. So to see me walk up to somebody, most people are like, did she just, because I saw something I wanted and I wanted to make sure I didn't miss an opportunity. That's just the mindset. I don't want to miss the opportunity, shy or not. But so if we start to communicate and talk through it, which is why I created the group, was to just really start to talk about the things we don't talk about so we can heal ourselves. Forget marriage, take marriage off the table, take relationships off. Start with yourself. Can you heal in order to start to think about things a little bit differently? What's comfortable to you?
I like it. So, and did you want to add, Curtis?
You know, the madam, she pretty much summed it all up. So it is about those conversations, you know, and it's about not only the conversations we see, it's not really the conversations, you know, the conversations in the group. There are some marvelous conversations and chat points in a group that's posted every day. But see, for me, it's those honest conversations when we're talking to our friends. You know, if it's me talking to my ace, or is it me sitting around, you know, we sitting around smoking cigars. You know, just being honest in those conversations. Those conversations, you know, when my homegirl calls me and she say, you know what, Kurt, you know, I really like this guy. And see, this the funny thing about guys, you know, because, you know, by me being 45 years old, there's certain things I had to learn about masculinity. And, you know, men are some funny creatures. You catch me on the right day, you never know what man you're going to get. And that's taking ownership. That's just taking ownership. One thing about guys that really makes me laugh is that, you know, a lot of times, you know, I have a wine rack over here, and every now and then I buy a wine. I might not want that wine today, but it might be 2 months from now. I want to have that glass of wine. Guys do that with females a lot. So when, you know, he's showing that female friend that, you know, that non-sexual attention, and acting like he's a friend, and she comes to him and be like, I really like this guy, I need some advice. He gets scared and thinks that bottle is about to be popped by somebody else. So he doesn't give honest advice. So, the thing for me is that I always try to be honest and transparent, especially with my female friends. Because one thing, they're trusting me to come with me and ask me that question. So I have to be honorable. I have to be honorable. So I start with that. And I might be honest with you. You know what? I'm gonna get that bag from you when I want to get it. But I'm gonna go ahead and tell you how to get this dude. I'm gonna be honest with you. So when you get finished with him, come back around. We got some business to take care of. But I'm not ready yet. So this is what you need to do. And I think that's what we got to start
Tell us
with.
what we need to do, because if she listening, tell us what we need to do. Come on, come through, sir.
So I would tell, look, attraction is attraction. As far as females and males, we pretty much do the same thing. If I would tell a female friend of mine, what is his interest? What does he post about? When he's live or whatever, look in the background. What paintings he have on the wall? Does he like polo? Is he a suit and tie guy? So you just generally start the conversation there. We give each other all the clues we need, men and women. So that's what I would tell. That's what I would tell my female friends. What does he like? And see, some people might be like, well, you're being deceptive. No, you're not being deceptive, because if I ask you what you like and we're getting to know each other, you're teaching me and I'm learning from you. So it's the same thing I would do if I was approaching a young lady. I would see what she likes. Women give up all the time what y'all interests are. Like you said, I saw guys yesterday posted their Chuck Taylors on Facebook. I'm like, okay, player, I see you. So that's my main thing. Just when we're having those private conversations, when we're having those real interpersonal conversations, let's just be honest with each other.
So,
but how do we get there? I'm sorry. How do we get there? So let's talk about how we get there. So how do we get to that part?
They inbox. Okay, so I see you. I think you're nice looking. I'm looking at your page, because honestly, my page is deceptive. Because if you look at my page, you may think all I am is what you see as far as Church Girl CEO or conversations. You don't see maybe my personal side. So how do we go from there? You're saying look at that, but then, like she said, how do we get to that honest conversation of what you like and what you don't like?
I'll give you a perfect example. A couple of years ago, I used to do in between jobs. I had a female friend of mine taught me the art of landscaping. So I would post on the picture of different things. I would go out when I would do weeding, I would do mulching, I would do pruning and stuff like that. So this one young lady liked me, and she called me over for a consultation. She called me over to her house to a consultation. And that's how we started talking.
But I think too, like I've been told a million times, probably a trillion times, I don't look approachable. And that's because I have a resting bitch face. And I just really it's just the way I look. I don't know. I mean, I smile all the time, but I've been told so much by men that I'm unapproachable, which is why, even though I'm shy, I might approach you first, because I think you're thinking I'm going to be ratchet or whatever you're thinking as you're looking at my nonchalant, I don't care kind of look. But in and all of that, so we approach, we talk, we chat, and we getting to know each other. I don't want your representative to show up. I want you to be yourself. And so that's the part I'm saying. How do we get people to relax, men and women, with showing, this is what I want. Sir, I am here to be married. I know we ain't getting married tomorrow. That's okay. I just know that's my end goal. So if that ain't your goal, tell me now. instead of dragging it along. And then here we are 2-3 years in, and we don't know where we're going because you're not leading. Mm-hmm. So how do you get to that real conversation? Now you're kind of different because you're going to be honest, but there are so many men. Talk about the other men. How come men aren't honest?
Let's start here. Let me give you the scenario, and then y'all just fill in the scenario, because that way we're building a real picture. All right. So I know I can use me. I see somebody and okay, nice looking, maybe not. So how do you, let's say, what's the first step when you DM somebody?
I'll be personal. I don't DM anybody.
Okay.
I don't
say
do
hello.
It.
I just say hello. How are you?
Yeah, I don't do it because you know, I look at you young ladies, and y'all get at least 5 guys in your DM, in your Facebook Messenger every day.
No,
I don't want.
Keep going.
Huh?
I get 0. So keep going.
No.
I'm not playing with you.
You gotta count.
Be transparent. So keep going.
You gotta count. You gotta count the ones you don't like now.
No.
You know.
No. I get foolish every now and then, but
also
like African. But you keep going.
Likes when you get when people like your pictures, when people like your posts, it's somebody admiring you a lot of times. I personally don't do the inbox.
So let's stop right there because that is key. What you just said, because they may not DM you, but how are they interacting? So I think that's what, I really want us to pick apart this whole social media thing, because that's why I was saying shoot your shot or not. Because if somebody is liking your pictures, because you can go through, because I've had stuff now that I get a lot of. I've had pictures that's been like 10 years old, and all of a sudden they're at the top of my timeline. I'm trying to figure out what in the world. But how do you do that? So let's even look at that, because you just said likes. Now they might not inbox you, but now you see somebody that's liking all your stuff. How do you go? How do you even start to cultivate that, especially if you may be interested as well, but then you're not sure if they're interested, and then you like, do I say something? Do I not say something? So I'm throwing that back to y'all. That's part of the scenario. Let's go.
So I'm gonna start, Curtis, and you can go from there. So what I do, or what I have done, is because I'm in 15 singles groups, all because I'm trying to fill out what my group should be like. And so every once in a while, we'll post pictures. If a gentleman likes the picture, that's cool. I don't really react. If they love the picture, I'm going to his page to see what he look like. And then if they're responding, I'm going to their page to see what they look like. The likes, the thumbs, I don't really pay much attention to. It's those, they took the time to change that from a thumb to a heart. That meant something to you. Let me check and see who you are. Now, if I'm interested, I might send a DM, but it just depends on how I'm feeling that day, because I might not be in the mood. What about you? Your thumbs and hearts?
My thumbs and hearts? I'll be honest with you. I very seldomly do it because I just think that women get so much of that stuff during the day. I don't want to add to it. I'm going to start the conversation in the chat and on a post. If you post something I like, it's certain things I like. I like art. I like poetry. I like breasts. So 9 times out of 10, you post something about that, I'm gonna be right on your stream. So the conversation starts from there. So what's happening now with the whole social media?
Oh, I think he froze. But I see what
the conversation. It's the social media thing now is going to the New Edition concert and you vibing with that person off your favorite New Edition song. Social media now is you going to church and you see this young lady in church every week and you don't know how to approach it. So the same rules that we'll basically use in real time, we will also use in social media. It's just a different platform. You know, like what do people say? Things may change, but it's still the same. The rules may change, but it's still the same game. It's still the same game. And see, you can't put too much thought into it. Now, and then you also got to give in the nature. You know, for me, if I approach a woman, I get a little nervous. Women I really like, I get a little nervous with. And I like that nervousness, you know, and I'll let them know off the top, look, you know, you take me through it a little bit now, me approaching you, you know, just to let you know. So I try to be real honest and real earnest. And, you know, to what Miss Flemings was saying, I'm not different. I'm a man, you know. I'm honestly, I'm a man. Cause see, you get some guys that be on some Drake type stuff and be like, oh, I'm different, you know. Nah, I'm a man. And I'm gonna put that out there because I shared this stuff on Facebook. And you know, if you say that, you know, I'm different from other men, you know, they'll be writing in the chat, no girl, he ain't no different, he the same. No, don't let the baby face and the poetry fool you. Let me tell you about this Negro. So and you have to own that. You know, as a man, you got to own that you are a man, that you're also on the journey. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's you know, to be nervous is fine. To be apprehensive is fine because you're going to be like that in public. When I talk to these elders that have been married 40 years and I ask them about the first time they met their significant other, the men will talk about how nervous they were, and the women would be like, look, I couldn't stand them. Right. I couldn't stand them. And then they are 40 years later, and she still can't stand it, and he's still nervous around her. Mm-hmm. So we just got to make it natural, you know. Not to get biblical, but I believe it was Genesis 2:18 that says a man is not meant to be alone. So I'm going to get me.
But it is there. Mm-hmm. That's where it is. It's in that area.
So you know, even if you're going to talk any way you talk about it, if you talk about it from a biblical aspect, if you talk about it from a biological aspect, if you talk about it from a cultural aspect of any culture, you know, when you get down to the common denominator, it's all the same things. So we should just understand that, you know, the nervousness, the apprehension, that's just a part of it.
Mm-hmm. You are right. It is Genesis 2:18, so you must use that a lot.
No.
Baby, you know, in the word in Genesis, it say go to verse 2, verse 18. Chapter 2, verse 18. It say, man should not be alone. But that's why he created Eve out of his rib. But see, then he created Eve to be his helpmate. And see, that's where I really wanted to go, but I didn't want to make this too churchy because y'all know I'm just gonna be real. Mm-hmm. I'm sick and tired of dudes that you be looking at, man, you A+ and you with this ratchet sister because you just with somebody that's ratchet and you like, what in the world? How did that happen? Yeah, I'm gonna need you to deal with that right there. Mm-hmm.
So, you go ahead, Curtis, because
So, you know, when you see that, it goes back to, you know, when we talk about cultural appropriations and, you know, you get to, you know, because you get this much education, you should be with somebody this much education. If you in this sorority, you're supposed to be with this fraternity. If you make this much money, he needs to make this much money. That whole evenly yoked thing that people misunderstand all the time. So when you see a guy that's with somebody that may be not his speed, it could be two reasons. It could be several reasons. One could be, hey, you know, I didn't have nothing going along and she was low-lying fruit. It could be that. It could also be that, you know what, I'm still trying to figure out what I like. But it can also be the Cinderella thing. You know what, I did that, you know, I have this, I had that. People say I had this, I should be with this, I should be with that. But I met my Cinderella. And this is who I want to be with. This is who make me feel comfortable. So every time you might see, because there's a certain, and then you also got to understand, that young lady might be ratchet, but nobody's a finished product. Nobody's a finished product. They have that saying that says you can't make a hoe into a housewife, but it never said that you can't make that a hoe can't be a housewife. She don't want to be a housewife. And I'm gonna tell you, it's a beautiful thing when you have a reformed hoe, because she takes some of that hoeness with her. So so it's all about living life.
Reform. Okay, let's go.
I mean, but it's true. So, I mean, I think back when I was in college, we called it Captain Save a Hoe. And it was because the guys were dating the girls that us church girls look at like, mama told us not to act like that.
Right.
But she got the man and I don't. So what's wrong?
Yeah.
And so
you have to question yourself and your beliefs. Yeah. That's a whole
But I think that, a lot of times I try to, when I'm talking to my girlfriends and stuff, we've all, some of us are more churchy than others, and just our experiences are a little different, but just knowing that wasn't your man. He over there with her for a reason, whatever the reason is, whether it's she's spinning on that pole or whatever she doing. They're together for a reason, and whatever that is, respect that. But you got to know that women do it too, because we date the thug. We used to call them the educated thugs because it just seemed a little bit better.
Might hold off the tongue a little better. Yeah, I've done that. Can't go back that way.
The educated thug is the same thing as that hoe. I mean, to me. And so, what is it you want? And so I think like Curtis said, you're dating to see what you like. And so I think that, you date to see what you like, to see what you want. Do you really want that thug to be your husband? I don't know. Right. Well, maybe you do. And maybe he treats you well, whatever that is. Maybe he meets your needs, but you got to figure those things out. You got to take the time to figure those things out.
So let's just jump right into this part. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. And then we'll move on.
And when we talk about the thing about the thug and the whole thing, so when people, that's just the stages they are in their life. So sometimes when you get with those people, just like the same thing I say about a young lady, she might be finding herself and you might find some potential in her and you might date her. The same thing with a young lady dating a guy that's a thug. So my biggest thing is, as a man, the woman that wants to date the thug, that's not the woman for me. I'm not a thug. I am more Urkel than I am Tupac. And being Urkel has gotten me a long way in life and in a lot of things. So I think sometimes, it's that whole, why he have her? Why she with him? And it's that whole thing with women, like, dang, why is he over there and he have all this, washed in the blood, Proverbs woman, he who findeth a good wife findeth a good thing. Why does he want me? Right. So the thing is, the one thing you said in the beginning, Ms. Franklin, you said that, you got to stop watching when you see on Facebook and you see, these people, they having vacations and everything is good, that is, it's not your time. It is not your time. And when your time comes around, now you have to sharpen your pencil. That's all to it. Because when your time is going to come if it's meant to come. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I don't think it's about, and we are, like I said, I talk about biology. It is natural for us to have those feelings. It is natural for us to deal with those feelings. But we got to understand at some point that, okay, I might want him and, maybe I'm not ready for him or maybe he's not ready for me. But whatever it is, it's just not my time. And we got to be okay with that. We have to be all right with that.
Okay. So let's take a turn. We know that you got to be ready. We know that we need to start making some mind shift change. So how about we talk about your type? Because sometimes some people be like, I'm not gonna shoot my shot because I might not be his type, or is he really my type, or is he really? But then the thing is, how do you know? How do we get over that
part? So I have a type. That's why I was like, oops. But you know, and I don't know, I guess I need to be hypnotized or something to figure out where it came from. But it's, and I've always said light, bright, and damn near white, and white too. That's just always been what I lean towards. And if you see my children, you would see that's where that is. But I think as I've gotten older, I look more to how does he treat me? What is he doing for me versus how does he look? Although he's gotta be attractive. And so in that, you know, I think you don't know what somebody's type is, but if you're interested, you have to go into it and shoot your shot, and you'll figure it out after that, because you won't know until you have a conversation with them. You can't guess unless you've seen them with somebody else.
That's true. That's true. I need to do this one right quick. What's up, Mark Gray? How is it? All is well. Skyline Foundation. Yes, you are. Y'all are doing some big things. I know. I can't wait to get back. When I get back to Baltimore, we definitely got to do something, because we need to connect, because I'm out here in these good Milwaukee streets doing absolutely nothing. So we will definitely connect real soon, Mark. And then you are doing some big things. Good to see you. I'm not sure who Marcus Fleming, but he giving us some eyeballs, y'all. He said, and Angel giving us some eyes too. And then they said, okay, I went back to the same one. And then, okay, you can find your type, but sometimes you may not be your type's type. Let's deal with that.
Mm-hmm. I'll let Curtis take it.
So, Ms. Fleming, so you like a little LB Short action, huh? I can tell you how I feel about you night and day. Unibrow and penny loafers, huh?
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Funny. So for me, you know, let me add this. Most men want to be the man they are in adulthood when they were 16 years old. That's why you see us wearing the retro Jordans. That's why you see us wearing the ball caps. That's why you see us at the park playing basketball with LeBron James jersey, and the next day we got to take 4 or 5 Advils to take the inflammation out of our knees. So you gotta understand that, you know. And for me, you know, it's several things that happen to me, and that's why it's as important, like Ms. Phillips was saying, when you talk to our children. You know, when I was coming up, you know, I was listening to songs like Young, Gifted, and Black. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I had these images of, you know, I remember my aunt when she saw Teddy Pendergrass on TV, and she just got goosebumps. I never see her get that way with her husband. So, you know, then I had my cousins that like El DeBarge. You know, so I learned that, you know,
they want to be loved in a special way. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
Yeah. So, yeah. Because I'm special, not that. Let me stop. So I learned early that, you know, it was going to be somebody that likes me. I wasn't real popular in junior high school. You know, but the first time I dunked a basketball, my junior year in high school, and I was walking through the hallway the next day, the cutest girl in the senior class say, "Hey, Curtis." So I understood that it was something about me that somebody was going to like. Look, I'm 6'7", 300 some pounds, you know, got a smooth baby face. So, you know, when I'm on my P. Diddy, I don't care if you like L.B. Shaw. I don't care if you like a millionaire. I don't care if you like a dude that look like Tyrese or Tyson Beckford. Mona Me, you got Curtis right here. You know what I'm saying? You don't need all that. So I'm going to be who I am. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. I remember we used to sing The Greatest Love of All. The greatest love of all is easy to achieve. Yep. So with me, and let's be clear, I know I'm speaking as a man, and I have it a lot easier than sisters have it. But the one thing that could transcend from me being a male and any female that's listening is that, you were intelligently designed by God. And, you might not be a size 4'5". First off, I don't know what nobody wants with a size 4'5". I need some stretch marks and at least a size 14 myself personally. You might not, have the long hair or the light skin, but I could tell you as a man, it might be the way your teeth chatter. It might be like the way you have a wide smile. It is something that's uniquely to you that nobody else has. That's going to attract that guy that Mr. be in your circle. So I would tell, I tell my daughter all the time, you're beautiful ever since she was a little girl. Like, you're beautiful. When people will come up to her and be like, you're such a pretty girl, I'd be like, sweetie, tell them who you pretty like. My daddy. Well, her mama had most to do with it, but I take my 23 chromosomes seriously. So, so you got to get to the point to whereas, if that cat don't want you, he don't want you. His loss. His loss. Keep it moving and keep it trucking.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, though, as women, we have to hear that differently. And so once you start to heal yourself and really understand that you are beautiful no matter what, you can approach any man, no matter who he is, because don't let Michael Ealy get caught in the grocery store nowhere, because he's going to get talked to. But, you have to understand that everybody don't like everybody. That's okay. Whatever your type is, even if your type doesn't like you back, you still have to know that you took a step. Okay, now you can move him off the checklist, marked off, on to the next one. And so you have to get that mindset about yourself, but you won't get there until you start to heal yourself and really looking at who you are and loving you for who you are.
I guess the biggest thing that we can really take away from tonight is operate in who you are, and then don't be afraid to make the step.
Yeah.
And if you could give advice, because y'all, we have been on here a long time, longer than we expected. So I'm gonna be able to do some things. But what I would like for you guys to do as we close out, let's give at least one or two pieces of advice for that person that is on that, let's say, that's on that line. They want to connect with someone, but they're unsure of how to do it. Because if you were raised a certain way, even though we're saying be this, be that, you still in the back of your mind, like, oh Lord, what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna say, how I'm gonna do it. What? Okay, because me and Ariel done had this conversation. Because I'll be real, I'm gonna be real. I can be real transparent. I don't know how to flirt. I don't know how. People be like, just give him a wink. I'm like, it don't work like for me. I be like, hey, wink. What? Do what?
What's that?
I was like, what's that? How you do that? And so I can be transparent because I want to say the things that somebody else is probably thinking that won't say, because they can look at our rail. Oh, she got it. She did. No, somebody out there is like you, and you're probably like me. I was raised, you don't call no boy, the boy call you. You don't pick nobody up, they pick up you. If they don't drive a certain thing, if they don't wear a certain thing, you don't fool with them. But now, in this age of where we are, how do we take it a step further? Because you might not know how to flip your hair. And then I heard somebody else give some advice the other night. Well, maybe you should learn how to be the damsel in distress. I don't know how to act helpless. Because if I act helpless, I'm you know good and doggone well it's an act. Then they were like, well, you need some help. No, you call somebody to come, you call Taskmaster or somebody to come do that. I don't know, you know, there are certain things that people are giving this advice, but when you're not built like that, and in your mind, you're like, okay, I can't approach them. I can't do this. How do you make that first step? Yes, I do know you have to make the first step, but what advice would you give them to say in that first step? And we're talking about adults. We need to tackle the adults, because the adults, if we can start working on chipping away some of the cray-cray with the adults, then that will bleed over into our youth. But how do we help our adults make that first step?
So coming from my perspective as the shy girl, that if you were to ask anybody from elementary school all the way through college, they would wonder why I'm talking so much, because I was so quiet. But, you know, being shy and understanding that closed mouths don't get fed, I started faking it until I really made it. And so there was a lot of guys, like talking to guys, you know, when you like them light-skinned guys, they're a little pretty. So if you ain't as pretty as them, they ain't always gonna like you back. So there was a lot of letdown in that. And so I think it just thickened my skin in that none of them were rude. They weren't mean. They weren't ugly. It's just, no, I'm not interested, or they never called, whatever that was. And so you learn to know that everybody doesn't like everybody, and that's okay. And you take the next one. You mark one off, go to the next one. And so I think that if I go back to when I started doing that, it really was me pretending like I was somebody else. Like I looked the same, but I was really acting and really, okay, let me approach. I'm going to say hello. And then I said, oh, well, I love men's clothes and shoes. So if they dress nice, that's going to make it easy, because I'm a compliment them the same way we want them to compliment us. And so we take those steps in that way. Just something simple that you're comfortable with, that isn't winking eyes, because I can't wink eyes either, because it's gonna look like I'm having a stroke or something. Like, wait, what's happening? And so you just do what you're comfortable with. If you're not comfortable saying hello, okay, mark that off your list. Now, what can you do digitally that you're comfortable with? They can't see your face. What could you do? Could you say hello? Could you check out those hearts on your posts? Could you check out the thumbs on your post? If there's no hearts, check out the thumbs. They liked it for a reason. Are you interested in one of them? Just say hello. I truly, in an inbox, if I'm interested, I don't say anything more than, hey, how are you? The gentleman usually will either take it further or won't say nothing. And then I know, mark him off the list.
That's powerful. That's something simple, because a lot of times I think we think, boy, that was crazy. Oh, that you have to be so long-winded. Like you got to say, what's your blood type? My blood type is A. You know, I live in this and I'm with this, and it's like that kind of stuff always kind of freaks me out. I like simple. So,
but I think what we have to know too, Deborah, is if I'm checking out who hearted me, when I go and check and heart theirs, they're doing the same. And if he's in my inbox, he's already looked at my pictures. And then generally guys are a little weird, because they go like all your pictures from 1970, and then you know they're attracted to you. So now we've got that out the way. Who are you? Let me get to know you. And so they do the same thing. So once you say hello, they're going to go look. If they hadn't before, they're going to look at your pictures and see. And so to you, Deborah, I would say you got to put a little something personal on your personal page, something. So you give them a little bit more to see about you, even if it's just some more pictures, whatever that is. But letting people see that you are comfortable being you and being in your skin, no matter what the skin is.
That's powerful, because when you look at, there are a lot of people like me that look at social media as I just use it for business per se, and not necessarily the personal, because I feel like personal gets a little too much. But I will try that.
And it don't have to be a lot, because you can look at my page. I don't post a lot of stuff, but I might post a lot of sayings, like this positive saying here, or I love to travel. That's why my map is there. So those little things that somebody can see, this is, business to me. So I took a picture. When I post that picture, they'll see these things, but you want to give them a little bit more so that they can engage. And then people are still going to be awkward. Guys can be awkward just like we're awkward. They're nervous just like we're nervous. And so giving them something to go off of so it's not a shot in the dark.
Awesome. It's your turn.
Okay. So okay, so I'm gonna make it quick. So we're trying to wrap up. Mode. So, Miss Deborah, I will go. When I look at you, I see somebody that's real funny, that's real outgoing.
Mm-hmm.
You all would be the one if I was looking at your page, like damn, I want to go to Starbucks with her. I know I'm going to have a good time and start from there. When I look at Miss Shoot Your Shot, I'm gonna give you a story. You say you like light brights. My daughter's mother. My daughter's mother is light bright next to white, hair down the back of her neck. The word on her when I was in college that she only like light skinned Kappas.
Mm.
She's an AKA. Oh, she only like light skinned Kappas. I didn't care. I didn't care. I went to her. She was gonna get some of this chocolate. So
and she did.
And she did. Now I don't know if it was the best thing for her or not. We're on good terms now. 18. We got a beautiful daughter. 18 years later. So my whole thing is just just do it. And it's a little unfair for me to even comment on this because, like I said, I've done therapy with people. I've had talks with people. So I understand human nature a little better than the average person. But just talk like, just who you are. Like I said, we are all intelligently designed by the Creator, by God. He gave us all. We had everything. Like the one thing I tell young people when I do therapy with them is that everything you need to be successful in life, it was already put inside of you when you took your first breath. My only job is to help you kick your navigation system in and bring it from inside to out. Mm-hmm. So I don't believe in intimidation. I don't get intimidated by women. I don't care. And like I said, the more the woman is, the nervous I get, but then I go into Mamba mode. So if I'm at a fair and I see this lady that's a doctor, I'm gonna go and approach her. If I'm somewhere and I see a lady that's a judge, I'm gonna go and approach her. About 2 years ago, if you look on my Facebook page, I got a picture of CeCe Peniston sitting on my lap singing to me. And anybody knows me knew I love CeCe Peniston.
Oh.
So I was not giving her, she was singing and she was doing the whole thing and I was sitting in the front row. And she was like, come on, you're not getting into the show. And then she comes down and she starts singing her little thing with your curly hair and all this stuff. So when she hands me the mic, I say, see, CeCe is playing. She just don't know. I've been waiting for this moment since 1992. So then she sits in my lap and she's doing a whole little bit and stuff like that. But I was like cool and laid back. So it's a show that Kendrick and the Family Soul give in Philly. Mm. So the guy from Kendrick comes up to me afterwards and he was like, man, you got to get more involved in the show. But I was cool. And somebody asked me afterwards, was like, you know what, she sure made your night tonight, huh? I said, no, I made hers. I understand that I was deserving of attention. And if I wouldn't have been on a date with somebody that night, I would have got that bag. That's the way that I feel. And I tell everybody to feel that way about themselves. Everybody has an inner beauty. Everybody has something to contribute to a conversation, to contribute to a relationship. Let's forget the fact that, like you said in the beginning, oh, well, let's say I gained a little weight, or my hair is not long enough, or I don't make it. Okay, we already know all that. We tell each other that all the time. Let's get down to the fact that, I'm funny. I'm smart. I could cook a whole chicken. And ladies, if you could cook a whole chicken, I can't say you could get every man, but you could get me. I show up at your door and you got a whole chicken on, and you got some cleavage showing. You can have your way with Curtis that night. So understand what you have inside of you. Understand that you are uniquely designed. I can't say it enough, ladies.
You can fry.
Understand that you are uniquely designed. Huh?
But
that's what I would say.
You know, there's a whole marriage chicken recipe on YouTube. He about to be married.
You better make it good. They better make it good. I'm like that old James Brown song. Try me.
That's funny. That's so funny. That's so funny. But you know what? Being able to cook is an art form, and some people just ain't got it.
No.
They want it, but they ain't got it.
No.
But y'all, it has been so much fun. It's been a lot of fun. And I just appreciate you guys for coming on and hanging out with me tonight and just having an honest conversation. We may have to do this again because we got a lot of comments and I was surprised. You know, somebody was like, "Can they call in?" I gave them the number. They didn't call, but hey, we got
okay.
We know how to hook it up. We ready now, honey.
Yeah.
We done went to a whole nother level for 2021. We getting ready to do some more, do the darn thing and take it to another level. And I just appreciate you guys for coming on and hanging out with me tonight. And of course, y'all know, whatever y'all need from your girl, I'm right here for you. If you would like, share with them how they can connect with you on social media. And again, and then how they can get into sexy single shooting shots.
Yeah, so if you follow me or Deborah on Facebook, I'm Renatta, Renatta Fleming on Facebook. We can let you into the Sexy Singles group, or you can search it, Sexy Singles Shooting Shots, under the groups, not the people, and it should pop up and we'll let you in.
So you can just find me at, Curtis Tate in Facebook. I'm probably the first person that pop up. I'm the only Curtis Tate in Philadelphia. So that's easy. Inbox me. You can catch me in the streets. You can catch me, at the corner store. If you just ever see me, just say, "Hey, are you that kind of like, narcissistic guy that was on the radio show that night?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, that was me." Yeah.
That is too funny. Well, y'all, it's been fun. It's been real. I don't know what to tell y'all. All I can say is, y'all, just shoot your shot. Shoot your shot. Take your chance, because you know what? All they can do is say yes or no. And all you can do is just keep moving forward. Well, all right, guys. I don't care what you do, but I love you to life. It ain't nothing you can do about it. And we going to see y'all on the next time because we getting ready to do some more. All right, y'all. Have a good one.